Well, hello, everybody. I am thrilled today to welcome this very special guest and a beautiful lady that I have been working with for many, many years now. We were just chatting before we started recording and realized that it was 2018 that the lovely Delyse, I'll get to the introduction in a minute, we met at a business day, a business full day retreat, both at pivotal times in our business journeys, and we sat right next to each other, had never met each other, and Delyse, in amongst all her lovely introduction, rattled off all her skills and everything she does, and I just was like, that's it, I think I need to be this lady's best friend. She needs to be my best friend, and because she's got everything that I need and everything that I don't know how to do. And she has been like my rock from that day on. I think we had our first meeting the week after. My website was built within, a couple of months, and we've just gone through a rebrand with me again, in the last few months. So warmest welcome to Delyse Wright, formerly Delight Designs, and has just gone through her own beautiful rebrand to 1070 Bespoke, which is absolutely beautiful. And so welcome Delyse. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
I knew that we've worked together a lot over the years through not just website design but content creation and projects that we're dreaming up that we still haven't, some that are still in the book and ready to be released one day. But I knew that you have such a fresh take on business and women in business, and you work with so many varied clients, and your background is so interesting, I think, from that the wellness sector. So would you mind sharing a little bit of what's brought you to web design, which I know that isn't essentially the only hat that you wear?
Yeah, we're all masters of the hat juggle, aren't we, when we run our own business? And yeah, I think since that time that we've been working together, we've had such a journey, haven't we? It's been it's been great fun, fun. I bless that workshop.
Thank you.
So I guess with my my background, I started in a wellbeing centre. It was actually my first job out of school, and I absolutely loved it. It was this beautiful, we'd call it the hippie shop back then, but new age bookshop, and we had practitioners, and it was a fabulous time, and that's really where my journey started in personal development and spiritual growth. So, I was surrounded by the likes of Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and Shakti Gawain, Louise Hay, and all that. It was amazing. I was also introduced to Tony Robbins at that time as well. So
and you're a big fan.
Oh, I am a big fan. Unashamedly so. He's incredibly American, but he's just, I love him. And every time he comes out to Australia, I'm there. But it was at that very first seminar that I went to that I promised myself that I would own that bookshop one day. And it took me 10 years. And a bit of a roundabout way, but I ended up fulfilling that goal, and I was able to buy the health centre, and it was an amazing experience to come sort of full circle. And I grew it. I grew that business from a small bookshop with a few practitioners to, at its busiest, we had 21 practitioners, or part-time. We had a beautiful retail store. We were running workshops and classes, and it was brilliant. And we got to such an offering that the newsletter I was producing just wasn't cutting it. So I taught myself how to design magazines. I've always had a passion, as you do, you know, always had a passion for magazines. I thought, I'd always love to do one. So that's what I did. Our newsletter ended up becoming the Living Life Well magazine. And from there, I kind of went, oh my goodness, this is a whole new world. I'm loving it. And so I had practitioners. Yeah, I had practitioners asking me to create their marketing material. And then, you know, websites kind of came as a part of that. And it just kind of, it grew from there. So when it was time to sell the Wellbeing Centre, it was a natural progression into design, which I love.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize you'd grown that to be such a large business. I knew the story about dreaming to buy it, but then to grow it to such a level. I think that's like such a testament to you as a manager, but also just your creativity to be able to see that and invite all of that in. So wouldn't a place like that be wonderful to be visiting right now? I mean, it would be thriving.
Absolutely.
You know, this was sort of a new age thing back then, whereas now,
yes.
you know, that type of alternative way of looking things isn't as alternative anymore. And I think that's great and that's exciting. So leads us to today, where you are now, and this beautiful new rebrand. I will pop the link obviously in the notes with this with our interview / podcast, so everyone can go and have a look. But it's divine, and you know, I love what you do for me, but it's really beautiful, very different to what you've done before, I know. So yeah, tell us a little bit about this business now and how, I mean, I know it's been a you know, it's been a process getting there because you're so busy working on someone else's brand that you're not actually working on your own. So I know this is kind of taken about all the time. It's like the social media person that has the worst social media account because you're building everyone else's. So yeah, tell us about this 1070 bespoke.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, I think, isn't it? But it's 1070 bespoke is it's been a while coming, but I'm so proud of it, and it came into being as a blending of everything that I do. So what I found was that I was kind of putting myself in a bit of a box. You know, this is what I do, and I wasn't very comfortable in that box anymore. It's like, oh, I know I need to, you know, make some room in this. So 1070 is a blend of my coaching and my design. I think with business, we have so many hats as you know, creative entrepreneurs, or you know, and we have to be across everything. And yes, we can outsource, but what I've found working with so many creatives is that we actually really love the hats. We love the juggle, and we like to keep our finger on everything. So what we don't necessarily like handing over the reins completely. You know, we still like to be able to do everything within our business, and we have to be able to do that. You know, it's part of having a sustainable business, that we know exactly how to run every aspect.
Yeah.
So that's why I offer a lot of tutorials, so a lot of video tutorials. So every time I hand over a piece of work, whether it's a website or whether it's a Canva template or you know, a product design, whatever it might be, it comes with a tutorial so that you can then take the reins and you know exactly how to use it, and you can replicate it if you want, and you can you know, it's yours.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. There's the education side of 1070, and then there's also the coaching side. So sometimes in business we just need somebody to be there to bounce our ideas, or to, you know, say, all right, I've reached this stage and I'm just hitting a brick wall. I need somebody to help me break down that brick wall and give me that step by step. This is what you do next.
Yep.
So that's where that comes in. So it's the coaching, it's the education, and it's the design.
Yep. And I think what I love, and I think it is quite unique as just even alone as a web designer for you, is that you do give the tutorials. Like it's very empowering for, well, me, I've been a client of yours, to then just be able to solve my problem and not feel like that I'm reaching out to you, and although I do sometimes anyway, but I reach out to you and I'm just, you know, asking just a little thing. And I think that's sometimes a real block for people when they're working with a designer or a web designer, that the web designer keeps it all very tight and close. And it's like, no, you know, I'm the expert. You have to get me to do every little thing. And I'll say to some of my clients, you know, are you able to change the about me on your page? Are you able to update little things? Are you able to keep refreshing? You know, we all know the benefits of that, and that's probably another discussion. Like we could be four sessions for you and I, because of all the other things that you could give. But you know, I think that's really important, that as like you say, we get overwhelmed by all the hats. We can't wear all the hats. You know, I've just outsourced some work at the moment, but creatively, we get inspired by being able to do a little bits here and there. And that's where someone like you can come in and go, right, you need, you know, I can see that you want to level up in a certain area, but you don't have the skills to do that. But you're able to then offer them that, even whether it's through coaching or whether it's through design or to, you know, complete website build. Or I noticed on your new site, you've got this VIP day where that's brilliant. Like I can see people just like, right, I need you for a day to like polish me up and, you know,
just right.
You know,
give me a bit of a
direction of where we're going, and this is great and this is not, and just fresh eyes. And I think that's what any mentoring, coaching, reaching out to someone that has the skills that you don't, that's the benefit of that. And so all of that sounds amazing, but I know that there's something else you wanted to talk about today, and it's really your, I guess, the all the tools you've collected along the way, right from the very beginning of having that spiritual journey yourself, and being so immersed in that at the very start of wasn't even your career at that point. You probably didn't even know that it would come all the way along. But would you like to like share a little bit about your take on what spiritual business actually even is, what it means, how it can benefit and help people?
Absolutely. It's such I think it's such a beautiful concept, spiritual business. It brings both the masculine and the feminine into it, even just in the the name, the concept of it itself. And really what it means to me is that you're co-creating with the universe. And it's where we can get a little bit woo-woo, but I love woo-woo.
Okay.
I'm
good with that.
The woo.
my members are used to that. They used to be talking about feeling aligned to your business, and I know sometimes that gets a little bit it's a bit wishy-washy, like it doesn't have a definitive thing around it. So, but it's something that you work on.
It is, and it's so it does have that sort of that perception of being wishy-washy, and yet you couldn't be further from the truth, because what we're doing with spiritual business, when we are aligned, when we're feeling like we're aligned with what we're doing and we're coming from an authentic place, what we're doing is we're engaging the law of attraction. And the law of attraction at its essence is like energy attracts like energy. That's all it is. So when we can work with that energy, and we do that through lots of different tools, our business can absolutely flourish because we're using both the practical and the physical with the energetic and the vibrational as well. So if I give you an example to put it into context, we might, so we all know that we need to identify our ideal client. Okay, so we can't talk to everybody. You've heard that, if you talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Yep. So identifying our ideal client, and that comes in a practical way by researching our ideal client, identifying who that person is, all the different characteristics, male, female, their age, their, or their demographics and that sort of thing, writing it down and creating the avatar so that we've got, right, this is who we're talking to. It's very practical. Then we can introduce a guided visualization into that where we can actually talk to our ideal client. We can connect with their energy. We can invite them vibrationally, energetically in to work with us so that we're working on both of those levels. And it's just phenomenal how it works. So you find opportunities suddenly appear, synchronicity and all that. It's just amazing. So when we can work hand in hand, that to me is spiritual business. It's coming from that space of co-creation.
Yep, I totally agree. And feeling like there's something bigger that has your back. It feels like you're being supported by something that it's quite mysterious, but it's there. And I think what's really important is that you stay aware of those synchronicities. You stay aware of those little pops of ideas in your head that you really should call that person, or, oh, how amazing, I just bumped into you. I was just like, I thought about you yesterday. And all of those little things, get palmed off so easily as, oh, what a coincidence. And then and not giving it any acknowledgement or I don't know, the value of it, and I've been working on that myself more and more, and just acknowledging those little moments, because when you do, it's like, oh, the universe is like, yes, you saw that, didn't you? Very good. Now I'm going to give you another one. And
yes, and you don't, energy attracts energy.
Yeah. So I love that. So so in what way, when you're working with somebody, whether it be you said the practical tools of I know meditation is one, and visualizations, or I know we've done mood boards before. So are they, I guess, the physical tools that you bring in to help people do this? Like, can anyone do this, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody can do this, and you don't have to be a religious person, or it's not about that. It's not you might find that energy of something greater is the label could be anything. It may be the universe, it may be God, it may be Mother Nature.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that essence of something greater.
Yep.
So anybody can do this. I always say it's quite funny, the law of attraction. We in some workshops, there might be someone that says, oh, I've tried the law of attraction, it doesn't work for me. And it makes me giggle, because the law of attraction is a universal law. Like energy attracts like energy. And it's like saying, you know what, I've tried gravity and it just doesn't work for me. It's not possible. It's working.
It doesn't work for me, so hence it doesn't work for you, because you said it doesn't work for me.
Yes.
Then it doesn't work for you. It's so funny. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's so the tools. The tools, that's what we were talking about. So yes, meditation and guided visualization. I've been a fan of those since I was actually a child. My mother used visualizations all the time growing up. So that later for me developed when I went through my life coaching.
I'll just stop you there. So when you talk about visualizations, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, what is it?
So guided visualization is where you use your imagination to create a particular scenario in your mind.
Yep.
And meditation, creative visualization is a form of meditation.
Yep.
So you would generally be closing your eyes and going on a journey. And I guide people on the journey. Okay. So you don't have to sort of think it up
in your own head.
Yeah, it's guided. And you can do it for all sorts of things. So I've when I was doing my life coaching, I learned more about that, and through NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, I actually found creative visualization comes into that in a big way, which anyway,
is another story.
Another story. But so creative visualization, meditation, vision boards. This is another tool that I've been using for years and years. And these are great fun to create as well. So the idea of a vision board is, once again, you're engaging the law of attraction to create a visual representation of what you want to draw into your life. So you could do a vision board around your business, around your health, around your relationships, a combination of everything. And basically it's a process of going through lots of different magazines or Pinterest, which, oh my goodness, we can get lost in Pinterest and the images there. But you can collate images of what you want to bring into your life. So it might be pictures, or it might be words, and you put it all together on a board. And what it does is that it activates a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, which is your RAS. So
your RAS engaged.
So it's when you're actually focusing on something specific. So we actually, we process so much information every second. And what the RAS does is that it filters through only the information that we need. And we tell it what we need through our values, through our beliefs, through our, everything that we have grown up with, if you like. So we can program our mind to say, this is what I want to focus on. And our brains go through that process of seeking out all of those representations, if you like, all of those opportunities.
But sort of so highlights, like it's like by doing the physical action of a vision board in some capacity of a particular topic or whatever you're inviting in, it's like suddenly those you move through the world with highlighted, I guess, experiences that relate to that. Is that sort of
absolutely
like a filter?
Yes, absolutely. It's your filter. This is what I want to be looking through, and this is what I want to attract into my life. They are amazing. I was invited to do a vision board workshop just recently by a lady who attended one of my workshops in 2018. And she wanted to start her own business and wanted to have a location on her property. So she put, the pictures of this beautiful barn, and she's a candle maker. So she, it was all of this. It was about her business, about bringing in a space where she could offer workshops and have a place to actually create all of her products on her property. And it's all come to fruition. And we were talking about it at this workshop, and she said, there is absolutely no way that I could have predicted how that could have come into my life. In terms of the money to do it, the builder to get it done, the time frame. And she said it's just perfect. Everything on that vision board came to fruition. And I love hearing those stories.
It's those little miracles that you come across someone that you think, oh my goodness, I so need you, like I needed you when we first met. I was like, this is the person. Who would have thought? And it's, I know you say it, you just need to work out the what and the why. I think it's important to understand your why and why this is going to light you up, or why you'd love this in your life. And then once you can focus on that and feel what that feels like. Sometimes I've read other things where you put yourself in the space of feeling like it's already happened. Like, how does that feel? And then you just leave the how to the universe and be aware of those little things that pop up, and those chance meetings, and those, that financial boost somehow that you never imagined could ever happen. And so I think, like, why wouldn't we engage this as business owners? Why wouldn't we embrace this concept? Because it's you've got nothing to lose, right? You've got everything.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So within so we've got sort of the vision boarding and saying a visual meditation or a visualization or a guided meditation. Is there anything else that, in regards to, I guess, or anything we should read, or anything else that you can recommend if we wanted to embrace this concept, I suppose, as you would call it?
And there's so many different tools. Affirmations are another great tool. And I guess the concept of spiritual business, it also, one of the other things that I love about it is that it really acknowledges the concept of self-care within our business. Because when we do these things, when we take the time to sit in meditation for even just 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, where we are, we're engaging with the essence of our business, we're trying it on, we're feeling the energy of it. We're also allowing ourselves to be still, and we're allowing ourselves to just, take that moment to breathe. Every day can be so chaotic if we let it, from the moment we open our inbox to, checking social media, we can spiral very, very quickly, and it can get overwhelming. So introducing tools like this just let all of that kind of, stand at arm's length, just hold off. I'm taking my time here. I'm doing my, my meditation, and then I'm doing my affirmations. Journaling is another thing that is incredibly helpful as well. So writing out your day, it's a very simple task, but what you're doing is you're co-creating, whether it's offering a prayer of thanks for the day ahead, writing out what you would like your ideal outcome for the day to be. You're constantly communicating, connecting, collaborating with the universe, with something greater. And it's it's a very powerful and empowering place to be coming from.
Yeah, I love that, and it's a little reminder to myself to do that more often, because I know all this.
Yes.
But you sometimes don't practice it, and you sometimes are preaching it and then not practicing it, and then it was I've been embracing more and more the cycles. I work within nature all the time, and the cycles of nature, as you know, in my business. But I've been really focusing on the moon cycles and ceremony around full moon and new moon this year. And I've loved that it's almost like a 2-week reset. It doesn't let me kind of get overwhelmed with all the other stuff. It forces me to sit down and really think about what I'd like to invite in, or what I would like to let go, or things like that. And I think that's that sense of well, for a lot of us, as I would class myself as a doer, a lot of us doers not function, but can embrace something easier if it does have a little sense of a task attached to something, and it does give you accountability, and it does give you that sense of not a rule so much, but a guide, I guess. And I think that's really lovely, that everything that you've mentioned there. I think our next challenge in the membership needs to be putting together their dream Pinterest board. That's it. We're doing that.
I love that.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how we can make that happen. Because I love that encouragement to put something like that together, and know that can be done as many times as you like, and for all sorts of different topics. Like, I know that when I went through this process with you a few years ago, and I thought it would be all about my business, but the board that I put together was all about my personal relationship with my husband and our life together, and it was so different to what I even set down to do. And I thought that was really interesting, that ultimately it's your root happiness sometimes that you, not that I wasn't unhappy, I'm very happy, but it was funny how that evolved around the life that I really wanted to have, more so than what I wanted my business to look like. It was like the business was going to give me this board of life that I really wanted. And it was just, I've thought that was quite interesting, that my subconscious decided to overrule my masculine mind. My feminine mind just came in and went, no, it's all about the love over here.
Well, see, look, I mean, we do not go into business to make money. I know that's probably, that's crazy.
No, if you wanted to make money, you'd really go and work for someone else, because not that you're saying that you don't make money in your own business, you can, and you do, but it's harder. It can't be your driving force. Like, if you're only if you haven't got that root passion about what you love and what you want to put out in the world and how it can benefit others, and that's what gets you over those hills of hard work. And
we are in business for the lifestyle that we want to create, and for what we want to offer the world, the impact that we want to offer the world. That is what will come out onto your vision board. It's that. It's not the money. It's not the
something,
the ticking of the to-do list or anything like that. It's, what is it going to give you? And that's your why. And from that, you will also find your values as well, those things that are most important to you in your life.
We could just talk for hours, you and I, about all
we could.
I just look at my notes. I think we've covered way more than I thought we would, and we've still got, as I said, I think we need to get Delyse back, because there is so many other topics that I'd love to talk about. just even the benefit of really beautiful content, online content. And I don't just mean a website. I mean, we've talked about that. It's like it's everything branded across the board. So there's so much that we can talk about, but I love that this is our first conversation.
Absolutely.
Anyone, please let us know where everyone can find you. And I know you have a little something special for everybody. So if you could please let us know about where they can catch up with you if they want to talk to you further.
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is 1070bespoke.com.au, and it's ten70bespoke.com.au. Instagram is the same, 1070bespoke. So yeah, that's where you can find me. I'll be hanging out around there.
Right.
And I'd love to offer a guided visualization so that everyone can try it out if you haven't already. And this meditation is called the essence of an idea. So we all, as business owners, we always have these, we've got ideas all the time. We're never short of ideas, but sometimes bringing them into fruition can be the challenge. So this meditation actually helps you to connect with the idea, see it as a tangible entity, and bring it into being. So it's
I love that.
Yeah, it's a nice one, and I think appropriate for business owners.
Yes, definitely. I love that. Thank you so much, Delyse. That's so generous, and I can't wait to do it and have that. I quite like these things to come back on, to come back to as if you're feeling just a little lost or a little overwhelmed or a little just smothered by all the noise and all the information. Sometimes it's a way that just gets you back in to your own knowing and your own honor your own thoughts rather than listening to everyone else's, and that brings you back to that self-care. So thank you so much. I know before you go, you've got another beautiful product you've got coming out, and I just saw it today. What's happening? Is there a wait for this?
Presence to Profit. Is that what you saw? Yes.
Want to quickly just do a little plug while you're here?
Sure. So this is my little baby, where I'm running through that meditation so much, birthing it into the world. So Presence to Profit is a course that I'm creating that covers the vision, values, voice, and the vibe of your brand. So covering off each of those different elements, and it's a combination of practical and woo-woo as well. So there's lots of meditations that will be offered throughout it, but there's also a lot of practical tools as well. So I'll actually be guiding you through how to create your client avatar, your templates within Canva, your own Squarespace website. So if you want to do it yourself, the course has got everything in it. So it's due to be launched in September. And it's very, very exciting. So you can see it on my website. I've got the modules listed out there on the site. And you can sign up for the wait list.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's modules like creating prosperity. So how to actually how do we create prosperity in our lives? And we're looking at the practical, so income streams. What can we add to our business in a practical way? And then energetically as well, right? So there's a guided meditation that will help me attract abundance and prosperity into my life. So it really is a blending of the
good. Two. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean,
it'll be fun.
We sort of already have been doing this in different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad that you've found the time and the energy and to gather all that you know into one place that is a practical course for people that can experience everything that you talk about, but just in one place. So that's so exciting. Well, I'll put a link to that as well, and then hopefully of course we'll share that once it's live and you've got it out of the wait list and it's actually launched in spring. So
launch, yes, yeah,
we're in launch mode before you know it. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Delyse. I really appreciate it, and I love this topic. I talk about this stuff all day long. So I hope everyone else has enjoyed it, and they'll go and check out what you've got, because it's so fresh. It's just so good. It's all good. It's all the good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love chatting with you all the time. Talk for hours.
I know. We do. Until the phone comes up, because we have we both live on farms and we both live in the bush, and it's a miracle we've got through this beautifully.
I'm amazed.
Faces. So before we do, I'll say goodbye. All right. Thanks so much, Delyse.
Thanks, Nadine.
Bye. Bye.